policy paper yet on RON95 subsidy rationalization. Ministry mulls review of windfall tax on palm oil in next budget. Well, good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. And I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos. Well, the government is studying the effects of the various subsidy-related measures taken before deciding on the need for RON95 petrol subsidy rationalization. Well, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said to date there is no policy paper on RON95 fuel subsidy rationalization.
Ada kajian daripada dulu, ada, tetapi kita fikir lebih baiklah kita lihat dulu langkah-langkah yang diambil dengan elektrik, ayam, penyasaran diesel, itu 3 dibuat tahun ini dan tahun lalu. Kita tengok kesannya dulu dan bagaimana tentang reaksi rakyat. Kemudian barulah kita bersedia berunding apakah keperluan.
The government has implemented several measures since last year, including the lifting of chicken price controls from 1st November and diesel subsidy rationalization, which started last month. The government has also announced that there would be no electricity tariff increase for all users in Peninsular Malaysia. Well, meanwhile, early signs indicate that the recent diesel subsidy rationalization program is effectively reducing leakages. And Finance Minister too, Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan, reported a significant decrease in diesel retail sales since the retargeting began.
Tanda awal menunjukkan pendekatan penyasaran semula subsidi ini berkesan dalam mengurangkan ketirisan. Jika dibandingkan jualan runcit diesel sebelum penyasaran semula subsidi dan selepasnya, setakat ini jualan purata harian di stesen minyak semenanjung Malaysia menurun lebih 30% dan stesen di kawasan sempadan mengalami pengurangan yang lebih ketara di antara 40 hingga 50%. Ini menunjukkan indikator yang jelas pengurangan penyeludupan.
The minister said this cannot be achieved if the government implements retail price increases in small installments, as it will not address the price gap. Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah asserted that the subsidy targeting approach, combined with setting market prices and providing targeted assistance, effectively combats leakages while protecting the public from rising costs. Well, the indicators to measure the cost of living of the people have been modified to ensure that they are in line with the country's current development. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the indicators or the index were calculated based on the various household expenses, which are generally not included in the indicator in most other countries.
Keadaan semasa menuntut ada perubahan. Ada keperluan yang di Kuala Lumpur tidak sama dengan keperluan di Ulu Terengganu. Jadi oleh itu indeks itu harus diubah sesuai dan ini sedang dilakukan berdasarkan keputusan mesyuarat yang kita adakan pada bulan Mac yang lalu, iaitu menetapkan kaedah kos sara hidup yang selari dengan perkembangan semasa. Kita ambil kira umpamanya soal pengambilan nutren, diet Malaysia, semua itu diubah dan termasuk umpamanya makanan, minuman bukan alkohol, pakaian kasut, perumahan, air, elektrik, gas, hiasan, kesihatan, pengangkutan, makluman rekreasi, perkhidmatan pendidikan yang umumnya tidak dimasukkan dalam kos sara hidup di kebanyakan negara.
Elaborating, Datuk Seri Anwar said the calculation of the indicators involve households in all 13 states, 3 federal territories and 162 administrative districts. The report from the calculation would also include the marginal propensity to consume and purchasing power parity. Well, police thwarted an attempt to traffic in methamphetamine worth 1.8 million ringgit through courier services after arresting a married couple in Puchong Jaya on June 27. Well, Selangor Police Chief Dato' Hussein Omar Khan said the 57.6 kilograms of methamphetamine was concealed in 7 plastic sacks filled with soil. Well, the couple aged 41 and 42 were believed to be acting as transporters, delivering the items using a lorry driven by the husband.
Dan merampas 7 guni plastik berwarna putih yang mengandungi tanah, dan dalamnya disembunyikan 56 bungkusan plastik berwarna kemasan bertulisan guan yang berisi bahan disyaki dadah jenis syabu yang berat anggarannya adalah 57.6 kg yang dijumpai dalam sebuah lori. Lori ini adalah lori yang digunakan untuk transport, dan lori ini juga digunakan untuk perkhidmatan courier.
Well, the couple was instructed to pick up the drug-filled items in Serdang Jaya and delivered them to Puchong Jaya. Initial investigations reveal that this was their first delivery, and they were believed to have been paid 51 ringgit based on the fee specified in the courier apps. Police are still investigating whether the couple was aware of the drugs in the sacks they were transporting. In other developments, well, police believe they have solved the break-in case at the house of Selangor FC defender Ahmad Kuzaimi P with the arrest of 2 men in Marang, Terengganu on 26th of June. Now, Dato' Hussein said the suspects, aged 28 and 33, were detained at kilometre 23 Jalan Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan, near Kampung Alur Tuman. With the arrest, Dato' Hussein confirmed that the case had no connection to the recent incidents involving several other football players.
Hasil siasat daripada kedua-dua suspek ini, mereka bukan saja terlibat dalam kes pecah rumah di Selangor, tetapi juga terlibat dalam 3 negeri yang lain, iaitu di Selangor kita ada 2 kes, termasuk salah satunya ada kes pecah rumah yang melibatkan pemain bola sepak Selangor. 3 kes di Terengganu, 2 kes di Pahang dan 2 kes di Melaka. Jadi kumpulan ini bergerak aktif di 4 negeri ini, dan hasil tangkapan ini kita berjaya menyelesaikan 9 kes pecah rumah, melarikan kenderaan dan samun.
The suspects also tested positive for methamphetamine, and they have been remanded for 7 days until tomorrow under Section 457 of the Penal Code. Coming up, MSMEs to be allowed to issue consolidate e-invoices. Well, several companies have shown interest in taking part in the development of data centers through the Kerana Integrated Green Industrial Park, or KIGIP project. Now, Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the companies had expressed interest when the project was announced by the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry previously.
Sebenarnya mengikut rencana MITI, bila kita umum saja KIGIP, sudah ada beberapa syarikat yang menunjukkan minat, kerana beberapa syarikat yang telah terlibat dalam data center itu telah terbatas sekarang. Kita tidak menggalakkan industri data center baru, melainkan terikat dengan AI. Dan keperluan data center ini, baik tenaga dan juga air, sangat tinggi. Inilah sebabnya mengapa beberapa syarikat telah pun kenal pasti.
KIGIP is an industrial park that will run on solar power as its primary source of green energy, with Phase 1 to involve 404.69 hectares.
The Plantation and Commodities Ministry plans to review the windfall profit levy, or WPL, on palm oil in Malaysia in the upcoming budget 2025, aligning it with the current palm oil prices. Its Minister, Dato' Sri Johari Abdul Ghani, said the ministry will work with the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, or MPOB, to review the WPL.
Dulu kita punya kos untuk keluarkan 1 metrik tan lebih kurang 1,800. Tetapi hari ini nak keluarkan 1 tan minyak kelapa sawit, dia boleh mencecah hingga 2,800 ke 3,200 bergantung saiz kita. Jadi sudah tentu windfall tax yang kita guna pakai formula waktu kos dia 1,800 mungkin sesuai, tapi sekarang dah 2,800, 3,800 mungkin sudah tidak sesuai.
Earlier, the ministry had looked into the WPL issue raised by industry players and held consultations with relevant parties. The WPL rate of 3% is imposed on palm oil prices above 3,000 ringgit per tonne in Peninsular Malaysia and above 3,500 ringgit a tonne in Sabah and Sarawak.
Well, the government aims for the country's COCO industry to contribute export revenue of up to 9 billion ringgit this year. And this target comes after Malaysia's COCO industry achieved export earnings of 8.2 billion ringgit last year. Well, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Commodities, Datuk Chan Fong Hin, mentioned that cocoa prices are currently at a high level. Therefore, the country's cocoa upstream sector needs to seize the opportunity to enhance cocoa production.
Kita ada industri yang amat matang untuk downstream, untuk cocoa. Cuma masalah dia untuk upstream, untuk penanaman cocoa, saya amat menggalakkan ini pekebun-pekebun tengok baliklah kepada penanaman cocoa ini.
In addition to the cocoa industry, the Deputy Minister said the government also hopes that the pepper industry will continue to expand its production on a global scale. He noted that the global pepper demand is expected to continue increasing in 2024 and 2025. Datuk Chan said this after launching the Expo Food and Drinks Malaysia by SAHIH network at the federal capital. Well, the government has agreed to allow micro, small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, to issue consolidated e-invoices, which combine all sales transactions conducted for each month. Well, MSMEs only have to submit the e-invoices to Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia, or LHDN, with the first 7 days of the following month.
Kerajaan sedar akan cabaran yang akan dihadapi PMKS dalam mengadaptasikan e-invoice. Ini terutama peningkatan kos operasi, penerapan teknologi dan jurang kesediaan pengetahuan berkenaan e-invoice. Terdapat 2 kaedah penghantaran invoice kepada LHDN seperti berikut. Pertama, penghantaran data melalui portal My Invoice dan sistem point of sale. Penggunaan portal My Invoice ini tidak melibatkan kos tambahan kepada PKMKS kerana ia boleh diakses dan digunakan secara percuma. Atau integrasi sistem perakanan perniagaan dengan sistem My Invoice.
For traders who choose to develop their own systems or use technology providers, tax incentives have been provided, including the reduction of the capital allowance claim period from 4 years to 3 years for the purchase of ICT equipment and computer software packages effective from assessment year 2024. Traders will enjoy a tax deduction of up to 50,000 ringgit for each assessment year for consulting fee expenses incurred by MSMEs from assessment year 2024 to 2027. Well, the process of selecting the mobile network operator for the transition to the 5G dual wholesale network model is expected to be completed by the end of this year. And Digital Minister Gobind Singh Dio said all the conditions of the share subscription agreement have been fulfilled by all the mobile networks operators.
MCMC is actually in the process of looking at what you call how it is they can begin they're looking how they can begin the process moving towards the second network. So I think this is something that MCMC will speak about later on, but let the process take its place, and then as it goes along we will inform the press what has happened and what will happen next.
He said there is currently no set timeline for this, but they are hopeful that progress can be made before the end of the year. Celcom DG Berhad through Infranation Sendirian Berhad, Maxis Broadband Sendirian Berhad, U Mobile Sendirian Berhad, and YTL Communications Sendirian Berhad through YTL Power International Berhad have all acquired equity stakes in Digital Nasional Berhad or DNB. The fifth telco, Telekom Malaysia Berhad, has until 21st August to get shareholder approval to complete its SSA.
Well, the ASEAN-China Ministerial Roundtable is expected to bring trade transactions worth 1 billion ringgit to the country. Well, Housing and Local Government Minister Nga Ko Ming said Malaysia was chosen as the host and it will take place from today until Friday.
Kita harap lebih ramai lagi akan terlibat supaya dari segi kita membawa agenda-agenda penting termasuk perancangan bandar yang mampan di mana kita membawa smart home, bandar pintar, smart city. Kesemua ini akan bakal dirungkai dan juga dibincangkan supaya plan kerjasama strategik antara rakan-rakan serantau kita bakal kita pertingkatkan. Ini adalah selaras dengan kepengerusian ASEAN Malaysia pada tahun 2025.
The meeting, attended by 11 ASEAN countries, focuses on the regional construction and housing sector. It involves 700 exhibitors targeting 40,000 visitors from 100 countries.
The Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, or MATRADE, is collaborating with 5 state governments to organize Export Day 2024 to help micro, small and medium enterprises explore overseas markets. Well, Chairman Dato' Sri Rizal American 9 American said Export Day 2024 started with a 2-day program at the Malacca International Trade Centre, Ikuti today, to be followed by other locations in Pulau Pinang, Kuala Lumpur, Sarawak and Perak. Elaborating, Dato' Sri Rizal said several panelists will speak on topics like export preparedness, export opportunities, digital exports, export financing and insurance, market intelligence and effective export promotion. Well, he said the strategic collaborations with state governments help open up opportunities for more local entrepreneurs to be involved in the export market while simultaneously introducing quality products and services to global markets. Various government ministries and agencies, financial institutions and supporting business organizations involved in Malaysia's export ecosystem will set up counters to provide services and assistance to MSMEs. AirAsia X has launched a new route to Nairobi, Kenya in Africa, aiming to serve 156,000 travellers yearly. Benjamin Ismail, the CEO of AirAsia X, highlighted the growing interest in travel between ASEAN and Africa, especially to Malaysia.
He said that AirAsia's commitment to service excellence ensures that it can offer more Kenyan travellers the opportunity to explore over 150 destinations offered by AirAsia. This expansion will play a critical role in connecting Malaysia, Oceania and Africa affordably and efficiently.
We are confident that the new route will enable more travellers from Kenya to explore more than 130 destinations within the AirAsia network via our seamless fly-through services from Kuala Lumpur.
Set to take its first flight on 15 November this year, this is the first route from AirAsia X to the African continent. All-in fares start from 471 ringgit inclusive of fuel surcharge, relevant taxes and fees.
Well, Selangor led in economic growth last year, contributing 25.9% to the country's gross domestic product, or GDP. Now, this was followed by the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur with 15.9%, Johor 9.5%, Sarawak 9.1%, Pulau Pinang 7.4%, and Sabah 5.3%.
Chief Statistician Dato' Sri Dr. Muhammad Uzir Mahidin said these 6 states contributed 73% to the national economy in 2023 versus 72.9% in 2022.
4 negeri melepasi pertumbuhan di peringkat nasional 3.6%, iaitu Negeri Selangor mencatatkan pertumbuhan KDNK 5.4%, Pahang mencatatkan pertumbuhan ekonomi 5.2%, Johor mencatatkan pertumbuhan ekonomi 4.1%, dan wilayah Ketuan Kuala Lumpur mencatatkan pertumbuhan ekonomi 3.7%.
On state economic growth, he highlighted salient growth features of Selangor, Pahang, Johor and the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur, with services and manufacturing sectors driving Selangor, Pahang and Johor's performances.
Well, the ringgit is forecasted to appreciate in the second half of 2024, closing at 4 ringgit and 43 cents against the dollar following Fed rate cuts. Now, MIDF Amanah Investment Bank Berhad said the influx of foreign funds will be beneficial for regional currencies, while increased trade activities, positive outlook and elevated commodity prices are expected to drive the ringgit up. Well, despite potential risks from China and the US, the relaxation of central bank policies is conducive to the appreciation of the ringgit. The ringgit's strength relative to its trading partners' currencies suggests a possible uptrend. BMI Fitch Solutions Company also predicts the ringgit to strengthen to 4 ringgit and 55 cents by the end of 2024 and 4 ringgit and 40 cents in 2025, with a 5% increase due to anticipated Fed rate hikes. Now, Federal Reserve adjustments are likely to support the ringgit in conjunction with Bank Negara Malaysia's strategies. And according to BMI, Malaysia's robust GDP growth, meanwhile, further underpins the ringgit's performance, while resilient foreign direct investment inflows reinforce its strength. On to the foreign front. Teenager arrested over Sydney University stabbing. Stay with us. Well, Australian police arrested a 14-year-old boy after a non-fatal stabbing sent a university campus into lockdown. Now, they are investigating whether the teen was motivated by extremist ideologies. Now, police said the teen was wearing a camouflage military uniform when he allegedly stabbed a 22-year-old University of Sydney student in the neck with a kitchen knife. And detectives said they were looking into whether the teen had been radicalized by other extremist doctrines. The 14-year-old was arrested after showing up at a nearby hospital to be treated for cuts to his hand. He was being sent for a mental health assessment and had previously come into contact with the authorities. The 22-year-old victim was treated in hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Well, hundreds of tourists gathered at a football pitch near the Kos International Airport in Greece after being evacuated from nearby hotels following raging fires that tore through dry mountainous terrain in the area. Now, in videos captured by tourists on the scene, fires are visible in the distance with thick black plumes of smoke rising in the air, and more than 100 firefighters and 8 aircraft were deployed to battle the blaze. Authorities there called on residents and visitors to evacuate several areas threatened by flames. Greece, a tourist hotspot, faces a tough wildfire season after its warmest winter and earliest heat wave on record, with temperatures hitting 44 degrees Celsius in June. Now, dozens of fires broke out across Greece, including 2 close to the capital, Athens, over the weekend. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis warned of a dangerous summer of wildfires following a prolonged drought.
Hurricane Beryl's eye was visible from space and captured by the International Space Station, the ISS, as it passed over the Caribbean. Beryl unleashed torrential rain, powerful winds and flooding to over the eastern Caribbean early Monday. Beryl struck the southeastern Caribbean as a Category 4 strength on the Saffir-Simpson 5-point scale, spiraling toward the Caribbean's windward islands and threatening devastating flooding as potentially deadly winds picked up speed. The hurricane strengthened into a powerful Category 5 storm as it moved west across the Caribbean, putting Jamaica near its path after downing power lines and flooding streets elsewhere.
Still to come in sports, OCM unveils new Fiesta design for Olympic attire. Well, His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, has conveyed words of encouragement to the national contingent as they prepare for the Paris 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games. Well, His Majesty expressed this through a post on the Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar Facebook page. Well, earlier today, His Majesty graced the handover ceremony of the Jalur Gemilang to the Malaysian contingent at Istana Negara. And present at the ceremony were Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh, Olympic Council of Malaysia President Tan Sri Muhammad Norzan Zakaria, and Malaysian Paralympic Council President Dato Sri Megat D. Shariman. Also in attendance were Malaysian Chef de Mission to the 2024 Paris Olympics, Dato Hamidin Muhammad Amin, and Malaysian CDM to the Paralympic Games, Dato Subramaniam Raman Nair. Now, so far, 25 athletes have confirmed donning Malaysian colours at the Paris Olympics, while the Paralympic Games will involve 20 national para-athletes. The Paris 2024 Olympic Games will take place from 26 July to 11th August, while the Paralympic Games will run from 28th August to 8th September. Well, meanwhile, OCM has selected a new design featuring fiercer-looking tiger stripes on the official attire of the national contingent. Well, in a statement today, OCM President Tan Sri Muhammad Norzan Zakaria said the change was made following mixed feedback on the previous tiger motif design, which was seen as not striking enough. And the new design features a black background with more prominent and larger yellow tiger stripes on the front and back of the jacket. Now, the OCM logo now features a fluttering Jalur Gemilang with the national flag colours accompanied by the 5 Olympic rings, replacing the gold-coloured OCM logo from the previous design. Meanwhile, for the design of the gold-collared T-shirt, OCM retains the same design and motif, but with the OCM logo in the Jalur Gemilang colours as a mark of respect for the national flag. In football, Panama beat Bolivia 3-1 to finish second in Group C and qualify for the Copa America quarterfinals after tournament hosts United States were eliminated following a 1-0 loss to group winners Uruguay. Bolivia needed a win with only a slim chance of staying alive in the tournament, but it was Panama who drew first blood when Jose Fallardo expertly controlled a header into the box, let it bounce and volleyed home in the 22nd minute. Bolivia equalized in the 69th minute when they cut through Panama's midfield and defense, with Ramiro Vaca finding Bruno Miranda, who slipped his shot past the keeper. But Panama wrested back control of qualification 10 minutes later when Eric Davis crawled in across from the left and Eduardo Herrero connected with a glancing header. Panama scored again in at a time when Cesar Yanis was put through on goal and he volleyed the ball into the top corner to give them a 2-goal cushion, sparking wild celebrations at the Inter and Coast Stadium. Well, that concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, no policy paper yet on RON 95 subsidy rationalization. Do join us again tomorrow on TV2 and saluran Berita RTM for your World Daily Updates. Till then, I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos, and from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.